Yo, what's good, vinyl community? And today I'm going to be showing part 4, I believe, of this. I'm not sure, it's either 4 or 5. I've lost track, to be completely honest. There's so much of these. And yeah, let's get straight to it. So, the first lot I have is probably whole like studio discography, because I need to get, the live albums and etc. Maybe some of the bootlegs. Put bootlegs in your collection because they're pretty cool, even though it's not really supporting the artist directly. First off, it's Nirvana with Bleach. It's probably my favourite Nirvana album. It's just raw, heavy, just everything about this. Before they had Dave Grohl, who went on to form the Foo Fighters, which aren't the greatest band in the world, as I can say. Not a big fan. They're okay, but there's better out there. A young Kurt Cobain there as well. And a young Chris Novoselic, and then Chad Channing, I believe it was, yeah. Yeah, it was Chad Channing, I am correct. Next up, everyone knows this album. Never mind. And yeah, that's the only glimpse of the whole album cover you'll get. I think I'm not even going to say much about this because I think everyone, if you were born like 80s, 90s, whatever, knows this album. Next up is a compilation by the band, and you know what one I'm on about. It's Incesticide. Very, very good compilation. It's a bit punkish at times, to be honest. I think this is an original 1992 press because it has the hype sticker which says Inside Incesticide and then the Brits Awards nominee. And it's just plain simple. There. Next up is In Utero, the final album before Kurt Cobain killed himself. Rest in peace. And it's nearly been a year since I've had this album because I got it last year Christmas. So yeah, I remember the feeling I had getting all the CDs that I got. It was just, when someone gifts you something and it's just so good, that feeling of getting new CDs. It's just amazing. Oh god, they're going everywhere. That's what we like to see in CDs, isn't it? Next up is the late Ozzy Osbourne's Osmosis. It's probably one of my favourite albums of his. And yeah, you can't beat Ozzy's whole discography with like Black Sabbath and like the first three records. Just basically all the 70s stuff except from Never Say Die. I was not a big fan of that record. And then you got his solo stuff like Osmosis, Blizzard of Oz, Diary of Madman, which is my personal favourite. That's my second favourite actually, now thinking about it. And then you got, I say my favourite Ozzy song, ooh, that's difficult, Over the Mountain or Miracle Man, which are both album openers, funnily enough. The next one is Pop Rock. And you're like, that's pop, blah, blah, blah. I really couldn't care less. It's Panic at the Disco. What's this one again? Death of a Bachelor. I don't really listen to them anymore. I do pop it on occasionally, and I do enjoy it when I do. It's just that you have to get in that feeling for certain like bands or artists or whatever. But yeah, nostalgia. Next up is a band that I need to get the first, like, how do I first record? Oh, what? The first like important album of theirs, like major label debut, and their last album. It's Pantera. I've got Vulgar Display of Power, which is one of my favourites of theirs. And yes, I literally dropped it from my bed, which isn't even that high up compared to like the table. It smashed really badly like that. But yeah, I've dropped CD cases on my shelf up there. It's done nothing. I don't know. I debate these CD cases at times. It could also be depending on where they're hit. But yeah, this is a great record again. I mean, this has the infamous Walk, but my favourite on here is my favourite Pantera song, probably with fucking Hostile. And then, next up, is if I've got the poster up on my wall. There you can see it, Far Beyond Driven. Great record, and yeah, there's nothing there, so I might as well just show the back. They got rid of Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills. I think this would be one of my in my top 3, but no, my top 3 is like Vulgar, Trendkill, and the Reinvent and the Steel. No particular order as such, but I'll say Vulgar is second or third. Same, I don't know. Some days, however I feel, and then my favourite is the Great Southern Trendkill. It's just everything about this combines every previous thing of Pantera, and it just turns it into, except from glam metal, and turns it into an absolute beast of an album. And then previously Phil Anselmo's Addiction, which would mean it'll boost like like the heaviness of this, and it has a few guest appearances of Seth Putnam, who was in the band, Anal Cunt, which is an infamous band for their lyrical content. And yeah, this is just the best of Pantera, so it's got bonus DVD on there. It's just greatest hits. So, some of these fucking cases I need replacing. In the band there, you cannot beat. Like, I mean, I like the Terry Glaze albums, to be honest. They're unique. That's what I can say about them for sure. Next up is an album I think everyone needs to own in their collection, whether rock or fan or not. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. And yeah, just a classic album. This was a good deal, £3 for one fantastic album. I haven't really listened to Pink Floyd. I think I should listen to more of their stuff, to be honest. Do not ask me what this white stuff is on the case. This is another case I have to replace. That's a good bar. Primus with pork soda. I don't know what. Do not. I swear, someone in the comments asked me what happened there. Do not ask me, please. This has the infamous My Name is Mud. It's a great album. What I find really funny is the guitarist Larry Lalonde was in Possessed, the first ever death metal band. So it's like contrasting. Like, you're now playing funk metal compared to the death thrash. Like, I'll say the death thrash nowadays, but back then that was death metal. Next up is Queen, The Kind of Magic. Another band where you just have to at least own one of their albums or greatest hits or whatever. I mean, such a good record. I think this is my favourite Queen record, or the first one, or yeah, so many good records they have, so I can't really complain. Next up, for the same reason with the Pantera ones, I have the lyric poster up on my wall, and it's Rage Against the Machine, Evil Empire. I really need the self-titled. Pretty much all the Rage Against the Machine albums, they're very consistent. I mean, the rapping on there is fantastic. The guitar riffs, the unique solos. And yeah, this was the final ever concert. Anyway, this is the final ever concert from this band, and it was Ramones with We're Out of Here, which, yeah. This is like 32 songs on it for a whole live album. Let me show you the booklet, because it has Chris Cornell, the late Chris Cornell, in here. I've got the exact page. There he is there. Back when it was just Soundgarden and not. They've also got the late Lemmy in there. Look at how low that guitar is from Johnny. Jesus Christ. You might as well just make it touch the floor. Same with Chris Novoselic of Nirvana. They might as well just have it on the floor. don't know why they have it that low. I think if you have it to like just below the stomach, that's perfect. Next up is a band a lot of people hate, but this is a good record. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. I always get the title confused. Don't know why, it's just confusing me. Yeah, good record. I don't really listen to them either. But it just depends what I mainly listen to, really. Which is like Metallica, Megadeth, so like thrash, death metal, and then you got death metal like Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse. I mean, I was listening to the first Dying Fetus record yesterday, which was really good. But anyway, complete opposite of Dying Fetus. But this one is the Rolling Stones 40 Licks. This is just a greatest hits album with a bunch of songs on here. And yeah, I'm more of a Stones guy than the Beatles guy, to be honest. Well, what? I've not listened to this in a while, so. Next up is a more bluesier side of Rolling Stones. Well, I mean, it's just a blues covers. Blues and Lonesome. Great blues covers. You cannot beat the Rolling Stones. It folds up into this cool with the disc as well. If you haven't listened to the Rolling Stones and you're a rock fan, I think that's a little bit questionable. But anyway, next up is probably the most iconic album by this band or solo artist or whatever. Santana with Supernatural. I mean, such a great guitarist. He has that feel, and that's another case that's broken. They dropped it then, so I had to be careful with it. Damn these CD cases. The one thing I like about if you like delivering CD cases is the hard shells. It will protect the disc. But like the dual cases, but if it's like the digipacks, it can get damaged easily. It keeps. Something I've noticed about this row, it always like fluctuates in heaviness. One point you'll get like a softer band, and then you'll get a really heavy band next. Because it went from like Panic at the Disco to Pantera. Now it's gone from Santana to Sepultura with Roots. I'm really ashamed of myself. I do not have any of the death thrash stuff. Yeah, it's a great record, but it has guest appearances from Jonathan Davis of Korn, and then Mike Patton of Faith No More as well. DJ Lethal of Limp Bizkit, I believe. I'm not the biggest Limp Bizkit fan, so I like Limp Bizkit. They're a good band, but yeah. I was listening to them this morning, actually. Yeah, it is DJ Lethal, Limp Bizkit, never mind my words. And then next up is Never Mind the Bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols. Another album you have to own, and that is also up on my wall if you're wondering. It's 2-disc. I've never seen a 2-disc version of this. I think I've got this for birthday, actually. Pardon me. And yeah, like 10 out of 10 record. Can't beat it. Next up is probably one of the most well-known guitarists of all time, Slash, with the self-titled record, and it has guest appearances from like Adam Levine from Maroon 5, if you like Maroon 5, Andrew Stockdale, who I only heard of for the first time on this album actually, Chris Cornell, rest in peace, Fergie, yes, pop singer I believe, Kid Rock, yeah, no, M Shadow's Avenged Sevenfold, which is a great band, Ozzy Osbourne, who I've shown previously, rest in peace, and then you got others like as well, Miles Kennedy of Alter Bridge, I couldn't remember the band. You got Iggy Pop as well, Ian Astbury, etc. There's the thing there, and I'd like to say peace